Hear the word of the Lord. The book of JUDITH Chapter 2. The expedition against the west. In the 18th year, on the 22nd day of the first month, there was talk in the palace of Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians, about carrying out his revenge on the whole region. Just as he said, he called together all his officers and all his nobles, and set forth to them his secret plan and recounted fully, with his own lips, all wickedness of the region. And it was decided that everyone who had not obeyed his command should be destroyed. When he had finished setting forth his plan, Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians, called Holofernes, the chief general of his army, second only to himself, and said to him, "Thus says the great king, the Lord of the whole earth, when you leave my presence, take with you men confident in their strength, to the number of 120,000 foot soldiers and 12,000 cavalry. Go and attack the whole west country, because they disobeyed my orders. Tell them to prepare earth and water, for I am coming against them in my anger, and will cover the whole face of the earth with the feet of my armies, and will hand them over to be plundered by my troops, till their wounded shall fill their valleys, and every brook and river shall be filled with their dead and overflow. And I will lead them away, captive to the ends of the whole earth. You shall go and seize all their territory for me in advance. They will yield themselves to you, and you shall hold them for me till the day of their punishment. But if they refuse, your eyes shall not spare, and you shall hand them over to slaughter and plunder throughout your whole region. For as I live, and by the power of my kingdom, what I have spoken, my hand will execute. And you take care not to transgress any of your sovereign's commands, but be sure to carry them out, just as I have ordered you, and do not delay about it. Campaign of Holofernes. So Holofernes left the presence of his master and called together all the commanders, generals, and officers of the Assyrian army, and mustered the picked troops by divisions, as his lord had ordered him to do, 120,000 of them, together with 12,000 archers on horseback. And he organized them as a great army is marshalled for a campaign. He collected a vast number of camels, asses, and mules for transport, and innumerable sheep and oxen and goats for provision, also plenty of food for every man, and a huge amount of gold and silver from the royal palace. So he set out with his whole army to go ahead of King Nebuchadnezzar, and to cover the whole face of the earth to the west with their chariots and horsemen and picked troops of infantry. Along with them went a mixed crowd like a swarm of locusts, like the dust of the earth, a multitude that could not be counted. They marched for 3 days from Nineveh to the plain of Bethlehem, and camped opposite Bethlehem near the mountain which is to the north of Upper Cilicia. From there, Holofernes took his whole army, his infantry, cavalry, and chariots, and went up into the hill country, and ravaged, put, and led, and plundered all the people of Rasis and the Ishmaelites who lived along the deserts, south of the country of the Syrians. Then he followed the Euphrates and passed through Mesopotamia and destroyed all the hilltop cities along the brook Hebron as far as the sea. He also seized the territory of Cilicia and killed everyone who resisted him and came to the southern borders of Japheth, fronting toward Arabia. He surrounded all the Midianites and burned their tents and plundered their sheepfolds. Then he went down into the plain of Damascus during the wheat harvest and burned all their fields and destroyed their flocks and herds and sacked their cities and ravaged their lands and put to death all their young men with the edge of the sword. So fear and terror of him fell upon all the people who lived along the seacoast at Sidon and Tyre, and those who lived in Sar and Oshina, and all who lived in Gemnia. Those who lived in Azotus and Ascalon feared him exceedingly. This is the word of the God to us. O Lord, open our hearts that we put in practice that which you have revealed to us.